guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Still a bit down from the Super Cup last night, so bear with me if I sound a bit, not depressed, but just sad and a bit down, but we're going to continue on. Anyways, we're going to talk about many things. Firstly, on Messinho, how Chelsea have been making big moves to sign Estevão Willian and are even ready right now to activate his 60 million euro release clause. But Estevão Willian's made it very clear he wants to wait for Barcelona, he wants the Barcelona move, and Deco alongside his agent Andre Curry are working on that deal. We'll give you guys an update on that. And also, as everyone knows, the club need to sign a pivot at some point, either this window or in the summer. We have been linked with 3 names in Joshua Kimmich, Bruno Guimarães, and Max Weiffer. We'll give you guys updates on that. Also, some big reports on Lucas Bergvall joining Barcelona in January. He could be the January signing in midfield. We'll talk about that. Also, some updates on Victor Roque fitness-wise, and also on Lewandowski. We have some updates on the Negreira case, how Mateu Lahoz came out saying that he's never been paid or influenced by Negreira whatsoever, and that he actually kind of harmed Barcelona a lot during his refereeing career. And finally, big updates in regards to Barcelona's battle with Nike to try and renegotiate their sponsorship deal, and how Puma are offering Barcelona the biggest sponsorship deal in football and sports history. It is a monumental deal which Barcelona can definitely earn a lot of money from and benefit from as a whole. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number 1 Foot. Number 1 Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. Now, as everyone knows, probably everyone, their mothers and their dogs knows that Barcelona needs a pivot this summer. We have been linked with 3 big names recently. First one up is Joshua Kimmich, as he has basically confirmed in the media there are no talks at the moment with him and Bayern Munich to renew his deal. He was asked on the links to Barcelona and to PSG as well, saying that I'm only focused on Bayern. For me, I'm not in a winter topic at all, so he will not leave in January. And they asked about his contract being expiring in 2025, so that at some point the club will approach me and we'll discuss it between us and not with the media. There have been, of course, reports that Kimmich is quite surprised and disappointed that they have not started renewal talks with him yet, but he does anticipate that to come at some point in the future. So we'll wait and see with Kimmich, but I think again the profile doesn't really fit, and also the price need to be crazy, so I think his option is slowly but surely dying down. But a new name that we've seen a lot, like we've heard murmurs of recently, but now it's becoming really concrete, and it's the name of Bruno Guimarães. Now, Mundo Deportivo are reporting, I think it's actually Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo, saying that Barcelona want to sign Bruno Guimarães. The club is attentive to his situation and want to offer a deal around 80 million euros in total, including players. Deco really likes him, but it's a complicated operation. Apparently, Newcastle are very much in the mud in regards to financial fair play rules in England. They need to sell some big, earn some big funds this summer in order to comply with the regulations, and apparently they are open to selling Bruno for the right price. Now, also the Mail in England have come out saying that Newcastle will consider selling Bruno Guimarães in the summer if Barcelona or Real Madrid make an offer, and for below his 100 million euro release clause. Apparently he has a 100 million euro release clause for like a specific amount of clubs, like top 7 clubs, so whether it's like Bayern, Real, Barcelona, Juventus, or whatever the case may be. There is apparently a release clause for those big teams. So the club are looking at Bruno again. Very similar to Kimmich. He's not the pivot profile that we need. He's very much a similar style to a Frankie de Jong, who plays that box-to-box role, can play in a double pivot when there's a natural pivot beside him. He's not a natural pivot, and for me to spend upwards of 80 million euros on him would be, and even in the package with including players, for me is absolutely outrageous. The club have to be very, very meticulous and very, very cautious with who they bring in as this pivot. As we all know, we're going to have to make a big investment. I understand that, but you have to make the big investment on not only the right player, but also the right profile. Bruno Guimarães for me is not the right profile whatsoever. I think he's a fantastic player. People are going to say, oh, play him and De Jong in a double pivot. It's not going to work. You already have the Bruno Guimarães profile in Frenkie de Jong, and you can even argue in Ilkay Gundogan a little bit as well. So it's not needed to add a third option there, in my opinion. I think this is very much because he's Brazilian and Deco likes the Brazil market. That there's rumors about this. Hopefully, it doesn't get very, very concrete. I would say right now the talks are decent. Again, Roger Toledo, top journalist in Barcelona, who's reporting this. So we'll wait and see on it, but I don't see much into it, especially with the price and the profile not really lining up with what Barcelona really need at this current moment. Now, for me, the best profile that we have been linked with in the sense of what we actually need is Mika Faye of Feyenoord. Now, Tony Juan Martí has come out saying that Atletico Madrid have made moves to communicate to Feyenoord their interest in Mika Faye. Barcelona really likes the player, but FFP is very limited, and this is why Barcelona can't make any agreements, not even verbal ones, because it is impossible to know what the margin the club will have in the summer. His price would be around 25 to 30 million euros. So in this, I think he's correct in the sense that, oh, Barcelona cannot make any offers or agreements or pre-agreements. I think it's the player that they really, really want, they can. But with someone just, general interest remains to be seen. I think, again, out of Kimmich, Bruno Guimarães, and, Mateu Weiffer himself, he's probably the best profile in the sense he's a natural pivot. He can play that lone CDM role on his own. And for 25-30 million, I think if you're not getting Zubimendi, it's a decent option out there that should be studied for sure. And him going to a direct rival would be a bit annoying, especially if we don't get anyone or get someone like Bruno who doesn't fit the mold whatsoever. So very, very interesting. And again, I think this will come down to when we hit the March international break. We'll get the real list, the real concrete reports about who Barcelona really, really want in the pivot. It is a crucial position to reinforce this summer, and we need someone in there that can, have a medium to long-term future and that fits the mold. But the midfielder that is currently the most advanced to join Barcelona currently is the Swedish wonder kid, Luis Bergvall. Now, this is coming in from Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo, who, again, very, very reliable. And this is now the first concrete report that we've heard from Barcelona about Luis Bergvall. We've heard other journalists like Roger Toledo, Juan Martí saying that, oh, the club kind of like him, they're watching him, but that's pretty much it. We've heard a lot of reports of Sweden, concrete, saying that Barcelona making offers, but nothing from Spain. But now we've gotten it. Fernando Polo came out saying that Barcelona's interest in Bergvall is real. Barcelona has entered into the real fight for his signing. That is to say that he has been followed for a long time because the technical reports are positive, and because among everything that the market for emerging players offers, he is the one that's most liked in Barcelona. But Barcelona are very serious about signing Luis Bergvall, who prioritizes a move to Barcelona despite interest from many other clubs like Eintracht Frankfurt, Manchester United, and Inter Milan. If Barcelona signed him, he would be between the first team and the reserve team from the beginning. His promise in the first team would also depend on the adaptation and his quality as well. The Swedish league does not start before March, and Barcelona do want a midfielder now. Bergvall is not a priority to solve the problem immediately. Rather, the club wants to experience midfielder, but if an income is not made now, he could become a low-cost option for right now. So the club are thinking that Luis Bergvall could be the midfield signing for January. If they cannot find anyone else, or they cannot bring anyone else, and they can only bring him in, he would still be in the dynamics of the first team and the reserve team, but he would be the midfield signing. That for me is outrageous. We need a midfielder to salvage our season, and we cannot ride that on Luis Bergvall. I think Bergvall is a fantastic talent, great player as well from the clips that I've seen. But again, we should be focusing on an actual midfielder. But again, this is just if buts and maybes from Fernando Polo. And the most important thing is that Barcelona are in the race. They've made their stance very clear. They're making movements. The player prefers to move to Barcelona, and again, we are negotiating with his club. I think the package deal right now is around 9 million. Is what the number we're hearing right now. So it could be 4 fixed and 3 to 7 in variables, whatever the case may be. How that 9 is broken down remains to be seen, but it's going to be a 9 million euro package for the player, and we'll wait and see if we can reach an agreement with his current club. Again, can the Barcelona want to get this deal done before March, before the Swedish league starts up again? And again, we are very, very ahead and advanced in the race to sign him. So wait and see how things progress. He could even be the Barcelona midfield signing in January, but Barcelona moving in deep to sign Luis Bergvall. Now, as Barcelona continue to invest in the medium to long-term future of the club, they are now looking at bringing in Estevão Willian, or also known as Messinho. As we all know, a few days ago I told you guys that Barcelona officially gave the green light to pursue and try to sign the player, and we've been hearing over recent days that Chelsea are making big moves to sign the Brazilian winger. Joaquim Pereira from Sport has come out saying that as of now, Barcelona have not made any move for Estevão Willian, but Chelsea can and want to pay his release clause of 60 million euros right now, but the player himself has not decided anything. I think he has decided. We all know that Estevão Willian wants to make a move this summer. Of course, he won't move permanently because he's still under 18, but he wants to decide his future this summer. But again, where he wants to go still remains to be seen, with Barcelona, of course, being the favorite. Following the reports about Chelsea really pushing and activating his release clause, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Chelsea are working on the Estevão Willian deal. Meanwhile, Barcelona remain in contact with the player's side. The player would love to join Barcelona, and Barcelona's interest is there, but it's difficult for Barcelona to close the deal right now due to FFP. So again, us having the nostalgia or the preference of the player is keeping us in the race. Of course, his agent Andre Curry, excellent relationship with Barcelona as well, but Chelsea are there now with the money now for Palmeiras. Keep in mind, Palmeiras want to make a sale for him in the next month or so as well, and the question is, can really Barcelona push for an agreement by that time frame? Now, Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo, following all these reports, came out saying that Messinho dreams of joining Barcelona. His entourage knows nothing about an offer from Chelsea. So a bit of mixed reports, you could say, but you have to keep in mind what Joaquim Pereira is saying. Again, he is the #1 source in regards to Brazilians and Barcelona. However you want to coincide them, he is the best. And if he's saying that Chelsea are in the race and are in negotiation, that is something very important. But again, he also said the player has not made any decision himself. I think if it's Chelsea or no one, he might make the move, but as soon as Barcelona put their name there, their interest there, their negotiation, I have no doubt the player will wait. He's only done interviews so far with Spanish outlet Mundo Deportivo. Of course, he was holding the Pedri shirt in the interview as well. He said that he loves Barcelona. He wants to play for them in the future. This is a player that we have to invest in as well. We need another winger at Barcelona. You can move Lamine Yamal or Messinho to the left, even though they're both, you could say, natural right wingers, but this is a talent we cannot miss out on. We've missed out on so many Brazilian talents over recent years. Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Deco. We've only gotten Neymar and Victor Roque. We missed out, on Mascardo as well, going to PSG. So the club really had to get this deal done. In the 60 million release clause, of course, they can do a very similar format to Victor Roque. 30 million fixed paid installments, and then 30 million in variable. Something that's very affordable for the club, especially with the FFP regulations on top of everything. So we'll wait and see what happens with Messinho, but right now we are hearing that Chelsea are ready to pay the money for him now. There's genuine interest from him, but again, he's waiting for Barcelona. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. The only player right now is Mika Faye, which is very, very interesting for a Barca athletic player to have a lot of rumors around him leaving the club. This is coming in from Santi Ona from Foot Mercado, who's a very reliable source in France, and he's come out saying that Alaves, so Deportivo Alaves, and especially Girona were interested in signing Mika Faye in January, the former on loan and the latter on loan with a buy option or even a permanent transfer, but Barcelona do not want to listen to offers for anything about him currently. So again, Mika Faye's future is progressing well. He's going to have one season now with Barca Athletic, and then in the summer a decision will be made. He'll be part of the first team as a fourth or fifth choice center back, or most likely the option, he will go out on loan. But keep your eyes on Girona's interest, because if we go for a Girona player like Savio, Alex Garcia, Mika Faye could be using the deal, because Girona are huge fans of the players. They wanted him when he was at his previous club as well, when we came in and we hijacked the deal from them, and I believe Dortmund as well, and Chelsea were in it. We came in out of nowhere, got the deal done super quickly. So Girona hold a very strong interest in Mika Faye, and that can come in handy for Barcelona in the future if they decide to move him on, and they can use him maybe in the Savio deal if we go for Savio, or Alex Garcia, maybe Arnau Martinez, whatever the case may be. But for now, Mika Faye will stay and finish the season right now with Barca Athletic, but a decision on his future will be made this summer. Let's now discuss some of the injury and fitness updates around the first team at Barcelona. We do have some concrete reports on Victor Roque and why he wasn't really participating in the Spanish Super Cup. Tony Juan Martí said that Victor Roque finished the match against Barbastro with some discomfort, but tests ruled out an official injury. But he did complete the training session before the Super Cup final against Real Madrid. But during the whole entire Super Cup, he never went out to warm up and didn't even look to be used as a substitute. he better be starting on Thursday because we need a different dynamic up front and he needs the minutes, and I think he does have the ability as well. I understand though the club really want to take their time with him, including Xavi as well. He has to adapt, and also with him not playing, it's taking away that initial pressure that we were talking about a month ago. You know, back in December, November, I'm thinking Victor Roque is going to come in, he might even bench Robert Lewandowski, but now that hype has kind of died down a bit, even though I think it's still definitely a possibility and a reality. So we'll wait and see on that. We did see Lewandowski, some clips of him limping outside the stadium yesterday following the Super Cup final. Hopefully something serious there. No reports. He probably won't start this Thursday's game. Of course, Arujo will be suspended for this Thursday's game from the red card that he got in the Super Cup final. Just a 1-game ban, so he should be ready to go against Betis. But let's hope Victor Roque gets some good amount of minutes on Thursday and really show some of his talent that we've been waiting for such a long time. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. Firstly, a very interesting topic, as you all probably seen the images of Busquets, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, and Lionel Messi training with Inter Miami. Recently, they've come back from their break. You could say, I was going to say summer break, but it's really, just an end of season break because with the MLS it's a different time frame than Europe. Nonetheless, though, there have been reports coming out from Mundo Deportivo saying that Barcelona proposed a friendly game to Inter Milan for this year's USA summer preseason tour, but the American team did decline as they would be preparing for the League Cup during that time. So Barcelona, of course, already planning and looking ahead at their summer tour for this up-and-coming preseason for 2024-2025 season. They wanted to play a game against Inter Miami, of course, to have the Barcelona legends return and face their former club. Oh yeah, whoop-de-doo, yay. But Inter Miami said no because during that time they're going to be playing the League Cup, which of course they won last year. They're the defending champions and they're going to be focusing on that during that moment. So we could have maybe had a possible return or maybe, first look at Busquets, Jordi Alba, Suarez, and Messi against Barcelona, but it looks like that will have to wait a bit. Now, probably the biggest news before the Super Cup final last night was the reports about the Negreira case, and it's coming in from Guardia, which is a very reliable source, especially the neutrality of it in the region of Spain, where they came out saying the Guardia Civil interrogated many referees about whether Negreira influenced their in-game decisions or not. The most common answers received during the integration were as follows: not all, had zero influence, very hard to corrupt a referee. The referees also added that Negreira's role was limited to a single task. He was in charge of communicating the promotions, demotions of referees from La Liga to second division and vice versa. Famous referee Mateu Lahoz was also questioned whether Negreira influenced or controlled the decisions, to which he replied, "It is impossible." Other referees like Alvarez, Gonzalez, David, Nunez Fernandez, and Daniel Ocan were also on the same line. So as the Negreira case now building up the actual official court date and actual ruling, they've been interviewing referees during the time of Negreira, where Barcelona supposedly paid the referee reports and things of that nature, and every single referee is saying they've not been influenced in any capacity whatsoever to change the decisions during games. Again, we knew this from day one that Barcelona paid Negreira for referee reports based on how they referee games, so how they determine yellow cards and red cards, to use that as their advantage, not to pay the referees, here's 1,000 euros, give us the penalties at some point during the game, which is not the case. And again, during this time, Real Madrid were always on top in terms of refereeing decisions. Continuing on, Mateu Lahoz has also admitted before the Civil Guardian that there were some occasions in his career where he harmed Barcelona, even though apparently we paid the referees. The referee who retired this year has acknowledged that there have been situations that were difficult to referee, in which it was beneficial for some clubs and others. For example, the 2014 Copa del Rey final between Barcelona and Real Madrid, when Neymar scored 1-0, Mateu Lahoz acknowledged that there was suspicion of a possible offside, but he gave the goal. He later also recalled that he eluded a goal against Messi in the match against Atletico Madrid, in the last match that decided the league title that season. Of course, Lahoz also gave a non-existing penalty to Lucas Digne in Las Palmas. It was the first penalty call against Barcelona, and it wasn't after a long time. So Lahoz himself has said that, look, Negreira's never influenced the referees, and also I've given a lot of terrible decisions that harmed Barcelona. He cost us the league 2013, cost us that Copa del Rey final as well in 2014. You remember the referees all the time. We had the clearance against Neto, against Valencia, and I think 2017. The Betis off the line clearance to win us the league as well in 2017. So it just makes no sense. From the get-go, it made no sense. People just like that narrative. I would love to get refereeing decisions. I really, really would, but we never, ever get them. Even look at last night, a 50-50 penalty shout gets given because all the Real Madrid pressure on referee Muniera got to them as well. And the fact that people think we paid $7 million over the course of 13 years to get refereeing decisions is very, very cheap. And if we did that, that would have been a bargain of a deal. Nonetheless, though, again, the Negreira case is pushing in that, I would say, in the positive direction of Barcelona. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever in any capacity that we paid referees to make decisions on the pitch. And again, Barcelona continue to push for the Negreira case to shut down. Now, as Barcelona continue to struggle financially, they are making one of the biggest moves in the entire history of football, where they're trying to get the biggest sponsorship deal ever in terms of shirt sales. Now, Sport have come out saying that Puma's offer to Barcelona's kit sponsor would be around 200 million euros per season, with variables that could reach 300 million euros per season. Keep in mind, right now we earn 100 million fixed plus 50 in variables with Nike, so this is almost doubled what we're getting. It would be the biggest sponsorship deal in the sport. Such a contract would usually pay and be lasted for around 10 years. Negotiations are advancing, but the problem is that Barcelona have a contract with Nike until 2026. I'm pretty sure it's actually till 2028, but Barcelona want to break it early. So I think the most likely scenario that's going to happen is that Barcelona next season will have Nike, then the following season after that it will be Puma. Again, to be fair, the Nike kits next season are kind of fire, so I kind of hope we stay with them. But it's going to be difficult to break that deal because it has to come down to both parties reaching that agreement. I don't think Nike want to lose that Barcelona license, but Barcelona are saying, look, we're being offered double, and Barcelona don't really want to end their relationship with Nike. They just want to renegotiate their deal and try and get a fair evaluation. You know, we're earning right now 100 when we have an offer for 200, which means our valuation currently with 100 is low and under the market value. I think if Nike counteract the offer and say 150 or 170 plus some variables to reach maybe 250 or 270, the club might change their mind, because again, it's a hassle to change from Nike to Puma, you know, cancel that deal, sign a new deal, make all the merchandising movements, blah blah blah. So, but again, it's difficult. I don't think Barcelona and Nike's relationship is going to heal anytime soon. I think their relationship has reached an all-time low, and we couldn't even reach the 30-year mark. It's been, I think, 26 years, something like that, with us with Nike. I think since 1998, if I'm not mistaken. So we were now in 2024, so about 26, 27 years, give or take. So we'll wait and see. I think there's going to be a big decision coming, especially during February and March time, where Barcelona have to give the green light to Nike to produce the new kits for next season very, very soon as well. And of course, after that statement that Barcelona came out denying the footy headline leaks about the second kit, things are getting very, very heated. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is in regards to Xavi's stance and situation as the Barcelona manager following last night's humiliating defeat against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final. Now, following his post-match press conference where he came out saying that this is the worst moment as a Barcelona coach, we were definitely humbled. We didn't deserve to win at all. Madrid were the better side. I still believe in the sporting project. We're gonna go up from here. We accept the criticism. We deserve the criticism. After all of that, Tony Juan Martin, also Fernando Polo Mundo Deportivo, were reporting the club right now is worried, but they say that Xavi's continuation is not even a topic of discussion. And also Deco, the sporting director of Barcelona, came out afterwards as well, confirming Xavi is going to be staying as the manager, saying that questions about Xavi make no sense. Xavi has full confidence from all of us. This defeat does not change our plans. So following the defeat at the Super Cup, Xavi will not be sacked. Does not mean he'll be the coach next season, though. A lot needs to change from now until the end of the season. I think, I'll tell you this right now, he has to win one of La Liga and the Champions League to guarantee his position as the manager next season. If he just wins the Copa del Rey, I don't think that's enough. And of course, if he goes trophyless, I think he's going to be on the verge of being sacked. It depends on what happens, though. If we lose the league by 1 point, we get to the Champions League semifinals or whatever the case may be, there's some parameters that might, give him that, one more season push. But again, his situation and his job is on the line, and a lot needs to change. He needs to get that boost right now. On Thursday in the Cup, then against Betis over the weekend at the Benito Villamarin, we have Alaves and Granada in the league right before Napoli game. I'll tell you this though, if he gets knocked out by Napoli in the Champions League, I think he might be sacked after that. Honestly, he's that much on a thread, because again, Laporta does not like the sack managers mid-season. I think with Koeman, he just had to. He was at a point where it was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And with Xavi, it's now we're getting to that first worst. So if he keeps on declining, it might force Laporta's hand. But I don't see Laporta again sacking a player who's done so much for the club like Xavi mid-season. Might wait till the end. But for now, Xavi is going to stay as the manager. The club basically confirmed this to the media, and Deco came out saying it himself. The question really is, will he be the manager come next season? That for me is a huge, huge question, which right now no one knows the answer to. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, obviously, of course, is your thoughts on Barcelona's recruitment for the pivot. Does it really give you that much optimism we're going to sign the right player and the right profile that we do need? Second, your thoughts on Estevão Willian, Messinho. Would you still spend the 60 million euro package for him if you think it's a talent that you have to, like, you can't pass up on, or would you maybe move on from him and use that money for other positions? Third, your thoughts on the entirety of the Negreira case. You think it'll end up dying down soon? You think it'll actually go to court? What are your thoughts on Madrid media always bringing it up? And finally, your thoughts on Barcelona's sponsorship situation in regards to Puma and Nike, them battling it out to keep Barcelona. What would you do in this situation? Would you go switch to Puma, or would you give Nike the benefit of the doubt, try to renegotiate that contract with them as best as possible? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça.
Go,